Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about the remaining part of inheritance. In the previous video we have discussed about the definition of inheritance, what are the types of inheritance and the access modifiers like public, private, protected, and if there is no access specifier indicated in a particular variable or class, then it will treated as a default category. These all the things we have discussed, and you know the keyword, which keyword we are using to inherit a class. Yes, a class inheritance means the property of inheriting one class to another class, or that one class is deriving the properties of another class is known as inheritance. Then case subclass and superclass will be there. Superclass is considered as parent class or base class. Subclass is child class or derived class. And we are deriving a class, base class from we are deriving a derived class from the base class by using the keyword extends. Extends is the keyword we are using to inherit. That all the things we have discussed in the last video, part 1 under section C. So here we will look at example program. Class name is demo. In this class demo, we have declared three variables, three instance variable. One is the private, second one is the character protected, third one is double C, that is the public one. That is the public one. So three variables we have declared in the class. Then another method, void show. Inside the void show we are calling these all variables and assigning value. In the a equal to 4, a belongs to private. You know that private access modifier, if you are using private, then it can access only to that particular class. So in this class, private a can be accessible. Inside this class, private a is accessible. So inside another method, inside a method void show of, this method we are initializing the value of a. So a equal to 4. Then protected, that is also we are giving ch equal to, you know that characters means it should be declined, enclosed within single quotes. Then double C, double value we have given. Then we need to display these all, whatever we have given initialized, these all value we need to display. One is the integer, second one is a character, then the third one is a double data type. So this all belongs to the first class. So this is the parent class, or this is known as super class. Consider this is a super class. And here we need to write a subclass from this parent class. So which keyword we will use? Yes, all of you know which keyword we will use. Keyword is extends. So subclass name is test. Just to remember this one, class demo is the super class, and we need to inherit class demo. So the subclass name is class test. So first of all you have to write the subclass name or derived class name. So class test extends demo, extends the superclass. Okay, and in this class declared a variable integer g and void display, and inside the method we have initialized the g equal to 235, and we are calling show method. Show is from which method, which class we are calling the show? Yes, show is calling from that parent class, or we can tell this show belongs to which class? That belongs to the super class. Show belongs to the super class. So inside just calling the show method inside the display method, and we are just printing the value of integer g. So this is a method. It's a simple program how you will extend a superclass to a subclass. So class demo is a superclass, and we have declared some variables and method, and class test is a subclass. Extends is a keyword using to inherit the property of demo class, and inside the class test we have given some variables and the method, and inside this method we are calling show method, or we are calling the method from the base class and displaying a value g. So how it will execute? We need to check the output. Yes, class demo I have written here with these values, and in the next one is test demo. There I have given us test, here I have given us test demo. So class test demo extends demo. Demo is the parent class. Test demo is the child class. So you can see here. Can you see this one? This, yes, this is the symbol. It's generating because extends keyword we have used. That's why this is indicating that demo is the super class and test demo is the subclass. You can see here class demo, inside the class demo private, protected, public, the same data types and same variable I had given, a equal to 4, ch equal to z and c equal to some double value. We need to print that values. This is the show method. And in this test demo, we are extending the demo and one new variable inside this test demo is that is int g. G is the variable we are declaring here. Inside another method is their display method. Inside this display method, we are initializing the G. This G belongs to which class? G belongs to the subclass, that is G belongs to the test demo, and inside display also belongs to the test demo, and inside the display method we are calling the show method. Show belongs to which class? Show belongs to the demo class, because inside the demo only we have defined that show. This way, define the show here. You can see, yeah, show method has defined here, is it? So demo, in the demo class show method is there. That demo we are that show method we are accessing here, and we need to print the integer value of this class. This class means which class? Integer G belongs to test demo class. That value we initialize, this one we need to get. And just for checking the values, I have given here character ch. You know that character ch means that belongs to which class? It belongs to that demo class, is it? Please understand, ch, character ch is demo class, integer a is demo class, double c is demo class. So we can check how the values are accessing. Is it possible to access? Okay. So here just I am giving character ch. Let's see what is the output. And in writing the main method, I am creating an object for this child class. I am creating an object for the child class test demo and just a display, calling the method display, because inside the display show method is there. So we can see what is the output. Yes, we will get the value integer 4, character is the double value. Actually these three belongs to which class? Parent class or the super class, demo class. And integer 23 to 35 and character z. Character z we are calling that this character z is also, this character z is also belong to the super class, and these three also belongs to the super class, and only integer 235 belongs to the subclass. So how it is accessing or how the properties are inheriting, you can understand from this example. Integer 4, character z and double value we initialized in the super class, that is the demo class we have initialized, and in the subclass, that is the test demo class, only one value g equal to 235 we initialized, and we call that super class method sub, that is show off to that subclass, and how the output is displayed. Okay, understood? This is the concept of inheritance. Let's see, private variable can access here or not. Let's check, can we access a private variable? You know that private, their first class integer, is it? That is the private. So I am just writing first class integer. Okay, integer. That is a private one. So you know that property of private one, how it will react. Yes, here you can see. Now A has private access in demo. Can you see? A has private access in demo. That means in demo class we have declared that A as private. So what is the property of private, or as an access specifier? Private means it can accessible only to that particular class where it has declared. So this one is belong to, now this class is test demo, that is a subclass of demo. That's why we can't access. Even subclass also it can't access. Private in the sense it can be accessible only to that particular class where it is declared. But the character CH means character is protected one, so we can access to the subclass. That's why character CH is displaying, but in the case of integer private value, that's why it's showing an error. You can see a message here, A has private access in demo. Okay, so character CH is a protected one here. Integer A is a private one. Private cannot be accessed out of this class where it is declared. Protected in the sense it can be accessed to the subclasses also. Public means anywhere outside the class, in any other package also we can access this public. Okay, this I explained to understand access specifier in the real time. Okay. Okay, next one is function overriding. You know about function overloading, is it? What is function overloading? Methods having same name with a different type and number of arguments, that is different signature. Having a function name is same but different signature, then it is function overloading. You know that example saying, so some examples like we can calculate the area. If you want to calculate the area, we can give double area of rectangle. Rectangle in the sense of how many values we need, L and B, is it length into breadth. One method. Then in the same method, double area, we need to calculate the area of a circle. You know that how the area of the circle passing the radius, is it? Pi r square. So considering these two methods having same data type and method name but different arguments. Here integer, 2 arguments are there, and here it is integer data type. Okay, single argument is there, or you can consider float or double R, like this different arguments data type we can pass it. So in the case of function overloading, methods having same name but different type and number of arguments, then it is known as function overloading. Another way is known as function overriding. Actually that belongs to the polymorphism. What do you mean by polymorphism? It is the ability of objects belonging to different types to respond to methods of a same name. That is one name and many forms. That is known as polymorphism. Poly means many, morphs means forms, isn't it? One name with many forms. One person is acting as different roles. Example like you are acting as a student, you are in the school, you are acting as a daughter or a son at home, granddaughter or grandson for your grandparents. Like this, different roles you are performing. That concept is known as polymorphism. One person is performing different roles, like one method is performing different roles. That means one name, method having same name but different type and different arguments. So the property also it is changing according to it. So polymorphism, 2 types. One is overloading, another one is overriding, like dynamic polymorphism and static polymorphism. Okay. So here function overriding. You can understand overriding is the term. That means methods having same signature, same method name, number and type of arguments. Everything is same, then it is function overriding concept. Okay. Here in this example we have given double area of int L comma int B. But here in the case of overriding, we are just consider double area of integer A. Consider like this one example. Another one more method, the same method, there is no change in the data type or anything. Okay. So this concept is known as overriding, function overriding, and how or where it is displays or where it's popular. Function overriding, methods having same signature, that is method name, same method name, method number and types of arguments, everything is same. A method in a subclass hides or overshadows a method inherited from superclass if it has same signature. So overridden methods are familiar in that inheritance concept. It's not in simple concepts. In the inheritance concept, that means you know that inheritance means one subclass will be there, one base class will be there, and one derived class will be there, is it? From the base class we are deriving the derived class. So in this base class we have a method name known as void. Consider this example, void show off. So base class having a method void show off, and the same method, another same, or we can make it another method. It is also having the same name, and that is known as function overriding. The same method name is in the derived class. So here it comes an overridden or overriding concepts. Okay, method name is same, but it exists in the base class and derived class. Of course, we know from the base class we are inheriting the property of derived properties to the derived class, is it? So if any same methods also there, means how it will act. Method also overridden. Method also, the base class method is overridden by the subclass, or base class method is overshadowed by the subclass, is it? Yes, this concept is known as function overriding. So function overriding is popular on where it's based on the inheritance programs. Okay. So function overloading and function overriding, two types of polymorphism. Function overriding means it has the same signature, same name, same number of arguments and type of arguments. And when we are writing a same methods in subclass and superclass, subclass hides or overshadows a method inherited from the superclass if it has the same signature. Overridden method. Okay, in the case it is same method is there and it is in subclass it is overriding also. Then we need a solution. Is it how to access this overridden method, or how to access this overridden variable, or how to access this hidden variable? For that case, we need a keyword that is known as super keyword. What is this keyword? Super keyword. So what is the use of super keyword? Super keyword is used to access an overridden method or a hidden variable or a hidden method from classes. Okay, so super keyword is the keyword to access the overridden values. So if it is a variable, means we can use super dot variable name. Super is the keyword. You are learning the new keyword super dot variable name semicolon. If it is a method, then super dot method name of. Example, the same example here we have discussed. Yes, how you will write super dot display of or super dot show off. Here in this both base class and derived class we have the method void show off. How to avoid this or how to access this overridden method means using the keyword super. So super dot show off. Okay. Let's see another use of super keyword. That means that is a constructor inheritance. Let's see. What is constructor inheritance? The process of inheriting or calling constructor of superclass within the constructor of derived class. In that case, we will use the keyword super or super method we will use. Okay, syntax for constructor, that is base class. When we are writing a base class, it has a constructor. And the same when we are deriving a child class or when we are writing a derived class, in that derived class also it has a constructor, is it? Yes. So constructor, base class constructor is inheriting to the child class constructor you by the keyword super or by this super method. If there is any parameters, means you have to list here super of list of parameters without data type. And one more point, constructors or superclass are not inherited by the subclass automatically. When the class is inheriting, all the properties are inheriting, but the constructor of base class is not inheriting to the subclass. That's why we need to specify the keyword super, or we need to specify super of super method. Okay. So the statement invoking super constructor must be the first statement in the subclass constructor also. That constructor should be the first statement. One more point, during inheritance, the constructor of base class cannot be automatically inherited by the derived class. So the constructor of the base class must be inherited within the constructor of derived class using the super keyword or super method. Okay. So just to consider here an example, class base. I have given as a class name B and it has a constructor. You know that constructor how we will write. Is it? Yes, here some statements, everything. Okay, closing the class B. Next class D is the derived class we are deriving from the class B. So I have given as D. Extends is the keyword we will use. Class D extends B. Then we will write a constructor for the child class, that is the derived class D. We have written open the braces. Then we should specify the superclass constructor by using the method super of. Okay. After that only we can, as you have to initialize or assign. If you are just imagine here we have given a value int a, then after that only you just assign any values or something like this. So this is the point. That's why this is the point. Super of is the method. Super method. The statement invoking super constructor must be the first statement in the subclass constructor. So how will you access that base class constructor to the subclass? Using the keyword super, or using this method super method, we will access that base class constructor to the derived class constructor, and this should be the very first statement inside the derived class constructor. Okay. Okay, here an example. Base class is person having two attributes or two instance variable name and address, and we are creating constructor, parameterized constructor, string name comma string address. Here I have given two or same data, string name and address. These are the parameters, parameter constructor. You have, do you remember the keyword this? Yes, what is the use of this? This is indicating the currently invoking object, is it? Yes, to understand that concept here I just giving the example. So in the instance variable is also same data, the same variable name, parameters are also same name, then it has to identify which one is representing which one, is it? So this dot name is indicating by, this is always indicating that instance value. So how we will indicate this dot name equal to name, this dot address equal to address. If it has the same name or parameter, we can specify like this dot name equal to name, this dot address equal to address. And what is the use of this, how the values implement, everything I have discussed in the previous videos. Those who didn't watch, please go and watch and take the notes. Okay. Then this is the class person. So this class is known as the base class, and we are extending, we are creating a derived class named student. Class student extends person, and in the class we have declared a variable roll number. Only the roll number has declared here. And based on the super method, how it works, this is super subclass or child class constructor class name. We need to create the constructor. Here we need to create the constructor of both classes. Both classes means which are the classes, parent class and child class constructor we need to create. So what are the parameters required for this parent class or the base class? Two parameters are there, is it? The same parameter or same data type should be same, but different variable you can use. Okay. So string name and string address. So string name and string address belongs to which class? Both are belongs to the super class constructor, is it? That we have to specify inside the subclass. Please listen carefully. In the subclass name is person having two variables or two parameters. We have passed as a parameterized constructor. So person superclass having a parameterized constructor, and that constructor is calling inside the derived class constructor. So derived class constructor, first you have to write the derived class constructor along with that superclass parameter. First you have to prefer the superclass parameter. After that you should assign that subclass parameter. Okay. So in the superclass we have two parameters, string name and string address. So we are giving the same string name, string address. But you have to remember we are writing inside the derived class constructor. So derived class constructor student of writing the two parameters of the subclass constructor, string name and string address, comma, then 2 is finished, 2 belongs to that base class. These two based on the base class, that is over. Then which one is remaining? That is the next one for this child class constructor, int roll number. Instead of int roll number, here one parameter I am passing int roll number. So these two belongs to the base class. How we will access this base class constructor to child class constructor? Yes, we will use the method super of. But here it's not an empty one, because in the base class constructor two parameters has passed So we have to pass two parameters here also. Without data type, you have to pass it. Okay. What are the two parameters? Name and address. What parameter you have passed in the child class constructor? In this child class constructor, you have given string name and string address. That two parameters we are passing here in the method super of name comma address. Clear? This is the way we will access that super class constructor to the child class constructor. Once more, just check this program. Class name person, base class, having constructor parameters constructed, two parameter we have passed, and we need to access this base class constructor to the child class. Child class name is student, and we are writing the class name, child class constructor starting with this child class name student of. First we have to pass the parameters of the base class. That's why two parameters we have passed it here, and the third one belongs to the child class parameter. Okay. Then inside the child class constructor, open the braces. Then very first statement should be the super keyword. That's why super of name comma address. What parameter we have passed here, that to belong to the super class. That's why we are writing super of name comma address semicolon. So this is the way we will call the constructor of base class in the child class constructor. Then last one, this dot roll number equal to roll number. That means roll number is the instance variable indicated in the child class. That is indicated, that instance variable is equal to this parameter, that is indicated by the keyword this. So here we have discussed about the keyword this and super. So what is the use of super keyword? Super keyword is used to access the overridden method and to access or inherit the base class constructed to the child class constructor. Okay. Okay, next one is the abstract class. What do you mean by abstract class? It is the one that represents merely a concept and whose objects cannot be created. In some cases, we don't want to create an object. In that case, always class, we can, if we are writing a class, means we can create an object, is it? We can create multiple number of objects. But in some cases, we don't want to create an object. In that case, we can make it that class as an abstract class. So it is merely a concept and whose objects cannot be created. And we are creating a class as an abstract class using the keyword abstract. We will use the keyword abstract. It contains at least one abstract method. In an abstract class, at least one abstract method should be there. So here an example, public abstract is the keyword, class shape. Inside this we will give two variables or whatever we can give. And one more thing, public void display of we have given here. So in this case, in this class, we have to mention at least one abstract method. So instead of public void display of, you have to write public abstract void display of. It's terminate with the semicolon also. So abstract class means it's merely a concept whose objects cannot be created. So here you have to mention abstract, public abstract, then only it becomes an abstract, valid abstract class. Because at least one abstract method should be in a abstract class and should be terminated with semicolon. If you are writing like this, the first one means it is not an abstract. Okay. Okay, this is an abstract class. Yeah, we are closing the class here. The next one is interface. Interface means it defines a protocol of behavior. That is, it dictates common behavior among objects from diverse class. It declares a set of abstract methods and constants. Just now we discussed about that. That's a particular rule of behavior. Some rules will be there. That how the common behavior among objects from different classes. That's all indicated as interface. Declares a set of abstract method. Always interface having some abstract methods and constants will be there. And it implement all the methods declared in the interface. Like class means we can inherit, isn't? We have using the inheritance property, we are inheriting one class to another class. In the case of interface, it will implement that properties to another one. Implement all the methods declared in the interface. So for the definition, you just learn these all. Interface means it defines a set of protocol or protocol of behavior declares a set of abstract methods constant. It may have a set of abstract methods and constant. Implement all the methods declared in the interface. We will use, instead of class, we will use the keyword interface. For a class, we will write class school or class student like this. The same you can write for interface. Interface keyword we will use interface school or something you can write, open the braces, and we will give the interface statements. Okay. Then the keyword interface we are using, interface body can only declare two things. This is an important one. It can declare only two things. Abstract methods, methods with an empty body declared within modifier public. Then constant, variables which cannot be modified. You know what is a constant? And it is treated as a keyword final. The variables which cannot modify declared with the modifier public static final. An interface can be implemented by any class. That is another point. An interface can be implemented by any class. And one more thing, Java doesn't allow, we have discussed about different types of inheritance, is it? But in the case of 5 types of inheritance we have discussed. But in the case of Java, supports only 3 inheritance. We know that: single, multi-level inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. So multiple inheritance Java doesn't support. In some cases we need to use that multiple inheritance concept. In that case we will use that interface. So through the interface Java is implementing that multiple inheritance, not through the classes, through the interface it is supporting the multiple inheritance. Yes, interface means it can implement, is it? So how to implement an interface? A class can implement one or more interfaces. Keyword implements is using. For the class inheritance we are using the keyword extends, isn't it? Extends. The same interface is implements. So we will use the keyword implements. Don't make confuse and don't make mistake on this. Implements. Here extends and implements. Okay. So class, what is the syntax for this implementation interface? Class, class name, implements, interface, one or comma, how many multiple interface can be implement to the class. But a class can implement as many interfaces but can extend only one class, is it? Yes, that's why we have written like class B class B extends class A. Only one class we have given. We can't give like extends class A comma extends class C, like that we can't do it. At a time we can inherit only one class. We can inherit only one. We can extend only one class. But in the case of interface, interface means it can implement different interface at a time. Through the class, how we will implement? Through the class we are implementing class, class name, then implements, interface 1, interface comma, interface 2, like this you can give. So consider car is the class and interface we have given as car interface. So these two are two cases. One is the class, car is the class, and car interface is the interface. So how we will implement this interface? How we will implement this car interface to the class? How we will implement? Using the public keyword, public class, class name is car, that we will write. Then implements is the keyword to implement the interface. Then what is the name of interface, that we have to write. And whatever statement we need, that we can write inside this. This is for 2 more questions. Or what is the definition of interface, how you will implement, these all things are important for this one. So just to learn these, it's not deep in programming, but we will discuss one program, how the interface, how it implements in programs also. Okay. So the last one is the keyword final. Final means you know that final variables are constant, the values cannot be changed, and the final method also we can write. This final, if we are writing a final method in a class, we are writing method as a final method. If you are writing, then it cannot be overridden by the classes. No classes can be overridden. How we will write a final method? Final int read off. This is the way we will write it. Define it or read. Okay. Final int read off. If you are example I have given here. So this method cannot be overridden by the subclass. Final means it does the same data type or same return type, everything is same also. If you are giving as final means it cannot be overridden by the subclasses. And the final class cannot be extended also. 2 point, final class cannot be extended. If you are writing a class as final, that final class cannot be extended. That means we cannot inherit. It cannot be inherited, and final methods cannot be overridden by the subclass. So final variables, methods and classes are used for the security. To prevent a method from being overridden, declare it as a final. To prevent a class from being inherited, it is declared as a final. So these are the important keywords in this inheritance chapter. First one, we discussed about the extends keyword. You know that extends keyword is using to inherit a class from another class. Then next one, we have discussed about the keyword super. Super keyword is using to access an overridden method or an overridden variable, and super method is using to access or inherit that base class constructed to the child class constructor. So super and super method we will use. Then this is a keyword is using to indicate the currently calling object, currently invoking object, or it is representing the instance variables. Then the last one, abstract, not last one. Abstract means, abstract is a keyword we are using to make a class abstract. In some cases we don't want to create an object, that case we can make a class as an abstract one. It has abstract method, at least one abstract method should be there. Then what is the next one? Implements is the keyword. Implements means it is using to implement an interface. Class is extending, interface is implementing. So the keyword implements is using to implement an interface to the classes. A class can implement multiple interface, but a class can extend only one class. And the last one is known as the final keyword. Final variable can be converted into constant by using the keyword final. If a class is final means, if you are declaring a class as a final means, the class cannot be inherited. If a method is written as final means, that method cannot be overridden into subclasses. So these are the uses of the particular keywords. So these are the very important terms and very important concepts in the inheritance chapters. These final, this super, extend, subtract, these implements, interface, final, these are the keywords preferable for the 2-mark questions, and you need to know how it works and what is the use of that. Okay, so let's see a program of inheritance program. Like this program, it is also from the reader I have taken. Superclass is worker, has been defined to store the details of a worker. Define a subclass known as wages to compute the monthly wages for the worker. So class name has given worker and data members name basic. So you know how to write it, is it? Easily we can write it. Hope I haven't right. No. So the next one is the member function. So these are the data members. 3 you can write it easily. The next one is the member function. The first one is worker of these dots has given. This is indicating these are parameterized constructor. Worker is a class name and inside the bracket some dots are there, means that is indicating as a parameterized constructor. So you in the description it will give, but sometimes it doesn't give, means you have to remember these dots indicating that is a parameterized constructor. So parameter is constructed to assign values to the instance variable. You know how it is instance variable, how we will initialize in the constructor, is it? Yes. Next one is a void display the workers details. So we can write the program. So here just typing a program. Let's see what is a class name. So class worker, open braces, data members, name is a string, is it? So string name, semicolon, basic is the basic amount, that's why I am giving in double data type, double basic. So how to remember always, you have to write the same data members and or instance variable and member methods. Okay, don't change any variables or anything. Okay, worker of that 2 variables has declared. The next one is the method, member function, worker of. So what we have to give, we have to pass 2 parameters, is it? parameter constructor. That's why we are passing as to parameter. So I am just giving string nm for name and double base for or bs, double bs for basics. You know how to initialize this parameter, how to write the parameter constructor, you know that. Just we will open the braces for this parameter constructor. Then initialize the values. What are the values? Instance variable equal to parameter, is it? So instance variable equal to parameter, then basic equal to bs. So that is all. This is the constructor of base class. What is the next method? In this one, void display of. We are just writing display the workers detail. Workers detail mean what are they? Name and basic we need to display. So just write void display of. Inside the bracket we need to print system dot out dot println of name of the custom worker. Name of the worker. Okay, name I am just giving plus that variable. Which variable we need to call? Instance variable. Which variable we have given? That variable. Control C, Control V has given name, and then one is the basic. Basic is the detail, basic value. Basic we have given us that one, BASIC. So we have returned the method. We have written the class. This is the base class. Class worker having two data members, instance variables, name and basic we have declared. Then inside the parameters constructor we have passed two parameter. One is for the string name, another one is for the double value, and inside the constructor we have initialized the values. Instance variable equal to the parameter. Then next one is the display method, that also we have done. Display to print the value, print the name of the worker and the basic of the worker. So here we have finished this class, is it? Only this much for this class. So just to close the braces and close the class also. We have closed the class also. Clear? So class worker has opened and a class worker has closed it also. The next one, what is the next method? Next class. So you can see the first class or base class having only one constructor and one method, and the same we have declared also in the program. We have written in that program. So the next one is the class name wages. That is the subclass. So how will you write the subclass? You know that. How to write a subclass, is it? Yes. So class subclass name first you have to write, then extends keyword superclass. What is the superclass name? Superclass is workers. So you have to write, just I am writing here, extends worker. Okay. Then what are the parameters included in the, or what are the data members included in this class wages? What are the data members? These are HRS, rate, wage. These are the three data members in the class wage. So we have to declare that first. First we will declare it. Hours, you can write as hours, semicolon, stores, rate per hour. Rate is also as an integer. I am just giving rate, integer. Wage means we can give it as double, is it? Wage, yeah. Wage has given us double data type. So the data members are over. Next one is the member function. What is the member function here? First one is wages of dot dot. That means that is a constructor. That is a constructor. Parameter is a constructor. So here we will assign the parameter constructor. Class name is wages of. Here we have to remember, when we are writing the child class constructor, we need to specify. Here one more question. Parameter is constructed to assign values to instance variable of both classes. Both classes in the sense, the first class we have done. Yes, here first class we have done. Sorry. With the constructor, two parameters. So we have to pass this two parameters here first. That belongs to the subclass constructor we have passed. We can pass any values also. I have given name 1. It's not compulsory what parameter you have passed in constructor, base class constructor, same should be passed. It may be differ, no problem. You can give same also, no issues, okay? It won't show any errors. So double base 1 I have given here. Inside this ages of, yeah, not only, yes, 2 parameters for the subclass, sorry, parent class we have written. This worker data string n9 double bs has given here. Then what is the next step? Next one, we need to assign the parameters of this class, current class. What are the parameters? Hours and rate, is it? We can give int hrs1 comma int rate 1. So I have given this one. It's little difficult to write here, that's why. I hope you can understand. Yes, so once more, string name and double base 1 belongs to the superclass constructor, and int hours and int rate 1 belongs to, we need to do as a child class constructor. In that case, we have given the wages. Okay. Then what we have to do? Open the braces for this one. Then the very first statement should be super of that parameter. What parameter we have assigned here? What parameter we have? You can see what parameter we have passed here in this child class constructor. That same parameter without data type you have to mention, base 1. So this is superclass constructor. So this is the way we will access the superclass constructor in the child class constructor. Next you can assign hours, that is instance variable equal to the parameter. The next one rate equal to rate 1, like this, semicolon, close the braces. So subclass constructor has defined here, this is subclass constructor, and in this subclass constructor we have inherited the superclass constructor. By this way you should do. This is very important, compulsory in the exam. When you are writing inheritance program, you have to remember this one. First one, using this keyword, the extends keyword should be proper. The next one is the constructor should be proper. How you are accessing that, or how you are passing the parameters in the constructor of parent class constructor, and how will you access the parent class constructor in the subclass constructor. These are all the very important cases. Okay. Then after that you can call the method double overtime. Next one is the double overtime, and here itself they have given double overtime means calculate and return a overtime amount. So double is the data type, so it should be returned directly. We can write it. So here just I am writing the method void, sorry, it is not void, double overtime of open the braces and return in the same sentence return statement. What is the formula has given in the question? According to that formula, hours into rate. So we can write hours into rate. This hours is indicating as HRS into rate, semicolon. So double overtime is over. Then what is the next method in the child class? Next method is display method. Void display of calculate the wage using the basic formula. What is the formula for that? Its formula is wage equal to overtime amount plus basic pay, and display it along with other details. So we need to calculate the wage using the formula. Okay, that is inside the display method. So how we will write? So here, and one more thing, display void display of. Okay, void display is the next method, and here calculate the wage using the formula wage equal to overtime amount plus basic pay, and displays it's along with other details. So you know this, you have noticed here also one void display is there. This is in the child class. In the parent class also we have a same void displays there. That is function overriding concept. But in the case of class worker or base class, we need to display the workers detail like name and basic. In the child class, the same method, but you have to use the formula to calculate the wage, and we need to display everything, is it? So here both are overridden, void display, that means overridden concepts. So this is the base class worker and this is the child class. Okay, so how we will write that overridden method? You know that how we will access the overridden method using the super keyword. So open the braces, then first you have to write the super keyword. Okay, super dot display of, that means it is representing that overridden method of super class display method. Super dot display of, after that you have to write that wage we are calculating. How we will calculate the wage? Or wage equal to overtime amount. So we just call the method here overtime of, this is a method we are calling, plus what we have to do, plus the basic, is it? Basic is the variable, we have to pass it. Then you need to print all the values. Here what are the values we are, sorry, just to print what are the things we need to display, all the things we can print it. Okay, Control C, here I am just giving. Inside this display, first it is first we access that overridden method, that should be the very first one. Whenever wherever we are indicating the super, it should be the first one, that's a better one, especially in the case of constructor. Here also we can use it. Okay, so system.out.println, what are the things we need to print? Here in this child class, hours worked is indicated by which variable? HRS, is it? Yes. The second one, what are the next hours worked? Then basic, bonus also we need, rate, yes, not bonus, rate, semicolon plus rate we are accessing. The next one, wage plus wage. So these are the things we are accessing here. We don't want to access that name and basic, because using the super dot display method we have accessed that method of super class, method of overridden method of super class, and in that display we have name and basic. So totally it will display. Okay, so this is the way you will write the inheritance program. And in the main method, how will you access and how will you write? Actually, for 5-mark question, we don't want to write the main method. In the question clearly, they will clearly specify there is no need to write the algorithm or main method. Just to write this main classes, that means base class and subclass. And how will you access the super constructor, and how will you access the super methods, that is overridden methods, overridden variables. These are very important for this 5 marks. Okay, and very important point is this one, child class constructor, how we are accessing the child class constructor, child class, we are accessing the base class constructor to the derived class constructor, and how we are passing the parameters of base class, and how we will access. These are all the very important points for 5-mark question. Okay, anyhow we will see a program of main class also, how the output will display. This also we will check. Here worker is the class, is a base class, that is a super class or base class, and initialize declare two variables and pass these values and this as a class worker. In another class I have written as wages and extended that particular worker, and how we have inherited that inherited base class constructor in the child class constructor, and we have calculated. And one more thing, void displays the child class method. We have called the overridden method using super dot display of, and how the output will be. Let's see. So it will display like this. You know that inheritance here. You can see it. Worker, then wages. This headed arrow is indicating this is the base class, and wages is the child class or the subclass or the derived class. Okay, so let's see how it will execute. Here no errors, nothing, here also nothing. So just I'm giving new wage of, you know that in that wage we have to pass parameter constructor of 2 parameter belongs to the base class and 2 parameter belong to the child classes. So we need to pass 4 values. That has how displayed here. Okay. So here I am just giving Anu double basic 2500 hour 3 hours rate to 500. Sorry, 400 has given. Okay, how the output will display. Okay, creating an object, then from this object we are just to display. This is the way we are creating the object. Parameters to constructor we have passed and creating an object, and just click on void display of. So the same value what we have passed, the value has displayed Anu basic 2500, hours work 3, rate 400. So it has multiplied and added, that's why wage equal to 3700. Okay, this is an inheritance program. This is the way you will write. So all of you just revise the definitions or the keywords what we have discussed in this video, and how to write a program using the inheritance concept. How you will call that superclass, how we will write the superclass, how the constructor of superclass, how we will call that overridden method. If a method having same data return type and method name and method signature means that is overridden. How we will access the overridden method in subclasses, how we will access that superclass constructor in subclass constructor. These all the things are very important, and you should just check this example also. If any doubt means, please message me. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we will discuss one more example of inheritance program, and we will do in an interface also. We will do an example for that in the class inherited concept. Another one is implement, how we will implement the interface also. But in this year, there is no program for interface, but to understand, we will just check and program on interface. Okay. Thank you for watching.